Hey guys, this is Xavier with Gotta Be Mobile. I'm in San Francisco, right outside of Ghirardelli Square. I'm going to show you a 4G LTE speed test here in San Francisco, and I'm going to show you on my T-Mobile phone, which is an iPhone 5, my iPhone 5S running on Verizon, an iPhone 5S running on Sprint, and a gold iPhone 5S running on AT&T. As you can see, all of them are on LTE networks, except for Sprint, which is on 3G. Now we are in Sprint's covered 4G LTE area according to their map, but we're not getting 4G LTE coverage. Now the reason I'm running this is just to demonstrate how fast these networks can upload and download, and to remind you that really varies from block to block, from house to house. Here you're seeing T-Mobile around 7 megabits per second, Verizon at about 14. We're seeing AT&T as the fastest at 22. And Sprint is only on the 3G network and it's at 0.44 megabits per second. I'm going to run this 3 times to see if we can get any better speeds from any single network. But as you can see, as long as you're on LTE here in San Francisco from T-Mobile, you're pretty solid. In fact, if you go back to their HSPA Plus network, you can also get pretty good speeds. But the problem is that their 4G LTE coverage just is not as robust as AT&T and Verizon's. And AT&T lately in San Francisco has just been blowing away the competition in terms of speeds for most locations. We did run a speed test yesterday right across the street from the Apple store, and it was really pretty slow from AT&T. But here we are from AT&T, just blazing fast, 42.19 megabits per second down. Verizon's very respectable at 14 megabits per second, and Sprint is barely able to complete the test on 3G. Again, T-Mobile's around 8 megabits per second. I'm going to run it one more time, give each of these networks one more chance. And this is just a reminder, like I said, that you can't base your network decisions solely based on speed tests from a single location. You're going to want to go ahead and see what the network experience is like at your hometown and anywhere you travel often. You'll also want to try to test out your networks from home. Now, obviously, most people don't have a phone on each network to test. What I recommend doing is borrowing a friend's phone, or if you do buy a phone on a new network, to go ahead and make sure you run a speed test app or a video streaming app to make sure that you can get the most out of your iPhone 5S before you get locked into your contract. Once again, 27.23 megabits down on AT&T, less than a megabit per second on Sprint, 9 megabits per second on Verizon, and 9 megabits per second on T-Mobile. So here in San Francisco, at least, Sprint is still growing its LTE network. Verizon is pretty fast here. We see blazing fast speeds in some parts of San Francisco from Verizon, but we also see a lot of really slow speeds. And when it falls back to 3G, it is crawling, just like we see from Sprint on its 3G network. AT&T, very consistent speeds around 10 megabits per second in most areas. In some spots, you'll see speeds in the 20, 30, or even 40 megabits per second range. But one of the great things about AT&T is it has a pretty fast HSPA Plus network, or what shows up as 4G. You'll almost never see anything below 1 megabit per second on AT&T here in San Francisco on 4G. And here we are on Sprint. Like I said, it's really poor right here at this location, but the other night my kid was streaming videos no problem through Netflix, through Sprint's network, and it was running about 10 or 12 megabits per second. Now actually we're just seeing Sprint pop up with LTE. I'm going to run it one more time to see if we can get a more respectable showing than it was shown when it was shown 3G. And you can see that it's still, even though we're on LTE technically, it sure isn't delivering LTE speeds as you'd expect. I'm going to go ahead and link to the previous location and other locations that we're running the speed test from in the link below this video. And hopefully Sprint can catch up with these other players. The one great thing about Sprint, though, is it's the only carrier that's offering a truly unlimited, lifetime guaranteed 4G plan now. So keep that in mind when you're shopping. This is Xavier with Gotta Be Mobile, and this is the 4G LTE test in San Francisco.